Hey guys, it's Rep. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. Was trying to get my video editor to move faster by using the GPU. I got it working, then something else would break. I tried to fix that and I would break the whole system. Did that about 5 or 6 times, tried other flavors, still in the process of getting my system to where I think it should be. Right now that involves NVIDIA CUDA drivers, which are being a pain because they stopped supporting the repositories of the older system, which encourages e-waste. What is e-waste? E-waste is electronic waste. Electronic waste is discarded computers and electronic components that are deemed no longer usable. But what causes that? Here is an example. This PC can't run Windows 11. Sound familiar? What's the solution? Buy a new computer, discard the old computer, or let it collect dust. Sure, you can use Windows 10 for now, until they no longer support it, then you'll have to get rid of it. Or you get adventurous, throw Linux on it, but let's be honest, many of you are not going to do that. Thanks to Steam Deck, more of you are inclined to try, but Linux and its modern iterations is not doing much better than Windows. Used to be, you had an old system, you could breathe new life into it with Linux. These days, if you tried with the most popular Linux, Ubuntu, you could be in for some disappointment. My time away from making videos is proof of that. If I use any current version of Linux, like Ubuntu 20 and up, my computer pukes. Yes, I can load it. Yes, I can do basic things with it. But if I ask it to do any more than that, I may as well just buy a Chromebook. Basically, it's as fast as a wet dog turd sliding down the wall. If I try to edit videos, pukes. Game on it, pukes. Forget about recording gameplay, they could even get the food down so I can puke. So let's get back to the point. Modern operating systems plus old hardware equals frustrated people equals new PC purchases. This is progress, out with the old, in with the new. But the old has to go somewhere, hence e-waste. Now let's talk motivation. Microsoft needs you to buy a new computer so it can have better servers. Let me repeat that in case you didn't hear that right. Microsoft needs you to buy a new computer so it can have better servers. Yes, your computer belongs to Microsoft. That's not Linux fanboy speak, that's fact. If you pull up your search on your Windows, put in delivery optimization, you will notice that you are serving updates to other Windows computers. Windows is handling updates like viruses handle infection protocols. Infect one, other computers connect to it, and infect others. Instead, we are delivering updates from your computer with your internet at no cost to Microsoft. It's like having a point of entry built into your computer, which is why I advise people to never online shop from a Windows computer. Use your phone, it's safer. But the fun doesn't stop there. You buy a new computer. Part of that cost is you paying for Windows. You paid Microsoft to use your computer. Even more fun, you can't shut it off. You can limit it, but it's still running, taking up your system. Maybe you didn't pay for it. Maybe they gave it to you for free, as long as you had a Windows 7 or 8 product key. I wonder why they gave it away. Alright, because they need more servers. Now that they have enough servers, they stopped giving it away. Thinking about legal recourse? Check the end user license agreement. Chances are they covered that in there and you agreed to it. More like end user lick ass, because Microsoft gonna keep using your stuff however they want. There are comparison videos on Windows 7 task managers versus Windows 10. And you'll see that 10 uses a lot of your resources. What that means is you may have a beefy system, but not all of it belongs to you. You share it with Microsoft. Now that 11 is out and your computer don't work with it, you're gonna have to buy a brand new one. And it's probably gonna have more consumption than 10. You don't deserve to use your entire system because you agreed that Microsoft is entitled to some of it. Okay, enough hating on Windows. We know how they make their e-waste. It's progress. Do I really need to get into Apple products? Apple updates all devices to the latest operating system. Apple don't care if your hardware supports it. You don't have a choice. If your Apple product runs like diarrhea down your leg, not Apple's problem. Buy a new one. And you will, for social status. Because it just works. Until it don't, yeah? I could lump Android in with Linux because it is built on Linux, but Android is more forgiving. You can have an old device and still install newer apps until it won't, in which you have to get a newer one. Your device won't cease to function until apps stop supporting it, and that takes a long time. So Android, you get a pass, and a thumbs up, for low e-waste contribution. And now Linux. I never thought there would be a day where I spoke ill of you, except that time where Red Hat gave us Fedora, but you no longer live up to the legacy. You do to a point. You can still put modern Linux on an old system, but don't expect any gains. 3 times I've tried putting Ubuntu 20 and newer on my older system, with solid state drives, and they work as well as a Chromebook. In my mind, I know the culprit. We went from platter hard drives to solid state drives. Our hardware got more powerful. I think it was at this point developers stopped optimizing their code because the super hardware would do the heavy lifting. When many developers do this, then the Linux PC takes a performance hit. It's no longer the optimized system from yesteryear. It's now a huge pile of dog crap that passes as an operating system. In a sense, it's becoming Windows. You don't have the right to use your entire system because we want to be lazy. And sure, if you got a super system, you won't feel the hit. But imagine, they actually optimize like they used to. How much more potential you can gain from an optimized operating system running on top-end hardware. So, we got users trying to breathe life into their old computers by installing modern Linux. It runs like a 2-legged dog in high heels, so we default to our programming and buy a new computer. More e-waste. This trend is not going to stop, hasn't for years. Linux was a saving grace for old tech, but no longer. So what solutions do we have? You can run all these operating systems past end of life, like what I'm doing right now. The programs will stop being updated, leaving you vulnerable. Luckily, I can run modern software through Flatpak. Flatpak is a sandbox that uses modern dependency components, so it can run the latest internet browser and most current softwares. It also compartmentalizes, so if the Flatpak system is compromised, it's separate enough that my actual system is untouched. It's not flawless, there are some quirks, but if you want to keep your old tech going and not have to worry about security holes, this is a good option. It just takes a little learning and figuring out the limitations. In the past, I've made comment on how Flatpaks could not utilize hardware from a sandbox, but was pleasantly surprised when I tried it again and noticed it was using my hardware correctly. Meaning it used my CUDA cores and my video rendering was cut in half. It's also nice to have a current browser, current video editor, and many other softwares. This is my workaround to keep my old system working at peak efficiency while plugging security holes that come along with an aging operating system. So as soon as I get my CUDA cores working properly and my system to where I'd like it to be, I will continue to push this old gal into the future with modern game titles. Give her some upgrades, and eventually retire her for something with a little more oomph. So yeah, all you developers, do better. Because right now, you got so much suck, you should change your name to Hoover. Okay, here's an addendum to what I've already stated. I have been working on this video and my operating system for a while now. And the video editor that I was using in Flatpak is not utilizing my GPU. The reason for this is unknown to me because it did in previous versions, and in the latest versions it's not. So what I ended up doing was going on to the video editor website, going back a few of the versions, picked up the app image for an older version, because the newest version won't work on my system because it's wanting glibc 228, and my system only supports 227. So I found an older version, fired it up in terminal, it liked it, it ran it, and then when I actually did the video editing rendering, it was actually utilizing my GPU and GPU memory. So this is another one of those, the modern stuff does work, but the modern stuff programs, the latest and greatest, also break. And you think it would work correctly since it's, you know, compartmentalized with its own dependencies, but that's not always the case. So just like everything else in Linux world, you want something to work, you will find a way to make it work. Alright, this is Rep signing off. See you next video.